All right, welcome to another paint and chill session. And today we are going to be painting a lovely beach scene with a beautiful cave around, with some ocean flowing, with some walkable little sand that doesn't have any trash in it. So this is going to be our luxurious beach, our ideal beach. I'll call it Paradise Beach. You could call it whatever you want. I'm just trying to make this less intimidating for you because I get students all the time that tell me, oh gosh, my painting is not going to look like that. Oh no, what am I going to do? How am I going to make this work? And I'm here to let you know that, hey, I'm your instructor. You're in great hands. Just relax. We are here for an experience. This is not no get an A type of class. This is just, you're trying something new, you're experimenting something different. So allow yourself this space. If you mess up, and that's okay. This is acrylic paint. It is meant to be painted on. No need to worry. Like, relax. You're going to be learning different types of techniques throughout this process. This experience should allow you to have a broader understanding about why painters paint. On a fundamental level, you know, I know a whole bunch of technicalities go into what the art critics say, but just on a basic level, from my experience, I feel painting is a way to just find yourself and relax and allow yourself to let go of all the busy things that are around you. So if you feel like your painting doesn't look like your neighbor's painting or someone else's painting, no one's painting is going to look the same. That's the beauty of this experience. Everyone is going to have a different result. And if you ever want to start over again, you can. I feel like if you're watching this, you're already at home or somewhere chilling. So, hey, if you mess up, if you want to start over, get another canvas. But I'm not going to allow you to throw your canvas away in the middle of the process. Just trust the process. It's not going to look like final result at first. It's going to take time. It's going to take steps. And thankfully, I put it in basic fundamental steps for you to just easily follow with me. So that is my spiel on that. So without further ado, let's get started. So you should have before you your supplies. You should have a paint palette with your colors yellow, white, red, and blue, and black. They should not be touching. Sadly, my red wants to hug blue and white, but I'm not going to break their bond. It looks like they're having a great time. But this is just where we fill our colors. And this section right here is where we mix our colors. So I'm going to show you how we use this part of our palette as we go. You should have 2 paint brushes, a big brush for the big areas, and a little brush for the tiny areas. I call this brush Big Ben, my best friend. He will carry you mostly through the painting, and little itty bitty will give you the finishing touches, and I will show you how that looks as we go. Everything I'm gonna show you how it looks as we go, so we're just going through materials right now. All right, and you should have a cup of water. This is going to be used for cleaning your paint brushes and diluting your paint so it has longevity on your canvas, and I will show you how that looks in the process. Just to show an example how you take the paint out of your brush, you're just going to dip your quote-unquote loaded paintbrush into your water and just spin it around in a circle enough so that you get all that excess paint off. And then, you know, I take it out every now and then to see if all the excess paint is off. Then the excess water, I use the edge of my cup to get the rest of that water off. And next, we should have a napkin. Basic, right? As you can see, my red wanted to be everywhere in this masterpiece already. But we use our napkin to pat dry our brushes. So we just want to lightly dab on both sides of our brush and make sure we get that extra water off so you're ready to mix in your new color. All right, so that is the purpose of your napkin. And then we have our little apron. We have our apron to protect your clothes. Yes, acrylic paint is water-based, but when it gets in your clothes, it can be stressful to clean out. So if you want to protect your threads, make sure that you have an apron on. I love these because you could easily just throw it away after you're done. So those are all of our supplies. So without further ado, let's get started on laying down our first color. First lesson. I know we're jumping in pretty quick to it, but I'm gonna make it easy for you though. So how do you pick up your paint? We're gonna make a nice light blue. We're going to use our blue and our white. So how you pick up your paint, you're going to take the side corner of your brush with the side of your color on your loaded part of your palette and just scoop it, spoon it up, make sure your brush is loaded, and then you're going to land that color onto your mixing part of your palette. All right, and I'm going to take just about 3 scoops because that sky is a lot of area to cover. So I'm going to land 3 scoops of blue paint on my mixing area, and then I'm going to take just, I would say, a little bit of white as I go. So just a scoop, just a nice good scoop. And then I'm going to mix by putting my white and my blue and stirring it in a little circle. Make sure you don't spread too much far on your plate. You want to stay in the same area so that new color comes in. So I'm just brushing my new color in a circle. And to land that color, so as you can see, I'm not spreading my color, my paint in any specific direction, but just enough to cover that top part of my canvas. And while I'm working from the top, I'm gonna show you in a bit. Looks like my paper towel don't want to cooperate. So just to show you how I use my water, how I dilute my paint to spread it, because as you can see, it's running out already. So I just dip a little bit of paintbrush into my water just by the tip. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and continue to spread that color. See how much coverage I have now? That is pretty much how we want to do it. And we're just going to get to the halfway mark of our canvas. So if your arm is hurting already, no need to worry, because we're just dip your water in your blue from the top and just brush as you go. Brush as you go. All right. Do the same on the other side. If you have any drips, just pick it up with your brush and continue to paint along with that. We're just filling up our top part of the canvas. How you catch that drip? That's how you catch that drip. Yeah. All right. So as you can see, my sample has some hints of white in between. So I like to add a little bit more white to my light blue mixture. Mix that up. And you can add different shades of light blue in your sky. So feel free to play around with that. If you want to add more, just continue to add a little bit of white as you go. As you can see, my color is now lightening up in my sky blue. All right, and I'm gonna add some variations here and there. And I like to add more lightness as I get to the middle of my canvas and work my way up. So I like to add some white, mix that into my blue mixture. my way up. Yes, just like that. And these will be your clouds. You could pick up a scoop of white and find a clean section on your canvas, land that color, and start with white and work your way up. Like I said, there's no need to paint any certain way. I just like to sweep across my canvas so that I'm just landing that color on there nice and well, nice and easy. This is how you get that impressionist effect if you want to be fancy with it. I hope you can see now that I am dabbing. You can dab to get those clouds to pop out by just using the tip of your brush to get those clouds to pop up, so it's not fully blending in. And you could add wherever you want, by the way. No need to follow my exact steps. This is just to make you feel comfortable with your brush. Just to add, just for you to not feel so stiff with your brush, but more so to, build that bond. Your canvas is your best friend, and so is your brush. So this is your guys going out on a blind date. Of course, you can dip some water again to spread that color. You can dab. You can add some white for clouds here and there. And keep in mind, no need to stress too much on the edges of the canvas because we're going to paint our caves around that. So we're more focused on the center section of our beach. And I think I'm pretty satisfied with the amount of clouds that I'm adding in there. So I'm gonna just use the rest of my blue that I made and dab it on in so that I'm ready to move on to a different type of blue. Now we're going to make a blue for the ocean. So you use this part of your palette to add more blue. Just go ahead and pick up a new section on your palette, land that color in. So if it's not coming out perfect, do not stress, please. If it's crooked, it can be painted over like I told you. But as you can see, I'm just taking my brush and I'm just drawing a line with the tip of it. And to make it really come in, I'm gonna just brush it across the other side. Just fill in that nice thick line for our first shade of blue, because we're going to be playing with different shades of blue for our ocean now. All right. If you need smoother line, I go ahead and dip a little bit of my blue into the water and just spread it on and brushing across. Nice and easy there. And there we have our first shade of blue. Okay, now to make that aqua blue can be a little bit tricky, but I'm gonna give you a little secret. So if you need to get more blue, add that another scoop in there. And then we're going to add a scoop of yellow. I'd say a quarter scoop of yellow, like about that much. Not too much, but just right. We're gonna go ahead and mix that color in. And then we're going to lighten it up. So I'm going to go ahead and add some white. Just a good quarter scoop of white. And now you should be getting, first was green, but now you should be getting an aqua blue with that white. All right, and then you're going to go ahead and fill in, I'd say around a good middle part of that canvas. Because keep in mind, you still want to make room for your sand. So we're going to make room for our sand at the bottom, drawing a line here and drawing a line where we had made our blue line before. So we're just going to go ahead and fill that in. And mind you, this is just for reference, but we're going to lighten it up as we go. So if you're worried that it is a dark color, don't, because like I said, it's going to be easily painted over. And I'm gonna dip a little bit of my water into that blue and spread that color across as I go. All right, and as you can see, that sea green is coming in. And I'm going to go ahead and add more white to my green as I go. So as you can see, that color is brightening up, and we're going to add that as our next layer for our ocean. And you can use a wet brush to blend in those colors, because we're going to do the same with our sand. So it's best to get your practice in now when you're blending in that ocean green. And as you can see, it's popping out. It is popping out now. It is showing up. It is here to stay and here to play. All right. And then we're just going to I add one more layer of light aqua green, just so we can make an easy transition into our sand. So I just add another quarter white into my paint. And where we drew our line for the bottom of our ocean, that's where that final layer of light sea green is going to be. And like I said, don't worry about filling in the sides of the canvas, because that's going to be where the caves are going to cover up. All right. So now that we got our ocean green, we're going to go ahead and clean our brush. Just go ahead and clean your brush, because now we're going to make our sand. And to make our sand, we're going to make it with a yellow and our red. More yellow than red though, with a hint of white. So just make sure that you're spinning your brush in a circle to get that excess paint off. As you can see, as I described earlier, I check as I go. All right, I get that excess water off my brush. And then I use my napkin to dab dry gently. And so my brush is ready for my new color. So how do I make my sand? Of course, I'm not going to put my new color in any of these. So I'm going to find a new clean part of my palette and just pick up a good scoop of yellow. I'd say about 80% yellow. Just land my color there. Add another scoop just in case, because that is a lot of section we're covering. And for your red, just add a little bit of red. No need to go too crazy. I say with the corner of your brush, pick up with the corner of your red and blend it on in to the point where you should be getting a orange. But we're not adding no orange yet. As you can see, I have a light orange now, and I'm gonna go ahead and add some white. So I pick up a good scoop of white, good 50% of white, I'd say, and just blend that on in. Blend it on in. And you should be getting that nice tan color now. And once you have that, you can go ahead and start adding that layer into your painting. So make sure your cup of water's out the way, and just add your beach on into your painting. All right, and for the sand, I say hit the bottom of the bottom of the canvas and the sides of it, because our cave starts where our water starts. So I'm just spreading my color across my canvas. As you can see, I dip as I go, and I'm just wanting to cover the rest of my canvas. So I'm dipping as I go, I scoop as I go, so that I am good to go. All right, and then I'm going to blend that in with my ocean. So I'm just dipping a little bit of my water and blending in my sand with my water. And as you can see, it's kind of showing it, it's kind of not. So I'm just adding a little bit more, because keep in mind, we are going to be adding some white waves. So stick around for that. Stay tuned for that. I mean, you can't stick around. You're stuck with me. You got a painting coming in now. Oh man, you know I'm messing with you. But oh, I got a little white chip in there. That's fun. All right. Okay, so I should have my sand blended. And then I'm going to go ahead and clean my brush again. Yes, again. Because now I'm going to be adding the waves. We're going to add the waves. And with that, we're just going to use white. So no need to mix any colors for that. So make sure that you clean the edges of your brush off with that water. You're going to dab dry. Alright. And then we are going to take our white. I say get a good scoop, a good 50% scoop of white. Land that on a clean part of your palette. And then we're going to make some waves in our beach. To just start bringing those waves, as you can see, I'm just creating shapes. I'm creating shapes, and I am just making waves of white with the tip of my brush. So I create, thin lines to thick. I create thick lines with the flat part of my brush here. I'm just creating some waves. That's what time we're on. We are just creating some squiggles. They may look like squiggles now, but those waves are definitely coming in. All right, and to make it look like the waves stand out from our sand, we're just putting in those waves here and there. And feel free to add some water into your brush to blend that in with your beach. So once you draw your line, I just go ahead and I blend in that water with my water pretty much. All right, and you could add dabs of white for your beach, for your sea foam, I mean. And we're just going to go ahead and get ready to add some caves around. So I'm just making some sea foam / waves around our cave at the both sides of our canvas, because we are getting ready to ride some waves. We're getting to ride some waves, dude. Alright, and I'm just spreading that wave, those waters here and there. And even for my ocean, I'm adding some waves in there. So we're going to add some squiggles here, some squiggles there. You can add dashes of waves. No need to add complete waves, but just let the water know that you're there. Make your presence known. Make a wave. Make a splash, they say. Alright. So we're just adding waves even to the outside part of our canvas, just to fill in our beach. You can add some little waves in the back with the dry part of your brush that don't have paint. And you should start having some waves coming now. Alright. And now for the moment you've been waiting for. We're making the caves. So we're gonna go ahead and clean our brush. We're going to do a little spin, a little hokey pokey in our cup now. We're going to bring up our paint and just get that excess water off. But also make sure that your brush is clean on both sides before you get the excess water off, and ready to dab try and get ready for our next step. We are going to be making the caves. So how do you make the caves? Simple. Believe me, I'll show you. So if you still have some blue on there, perfect. If not, that's okay, because we're going to be making a dark color. So you're going to take about a couple scoops of blue. Yoink. I say 3. We got a lot of area to cover. And I'd say a scoop of scoop of black. You know what I mean. And we're just going to mix that in, because we want to get that dark blue for our caves. Okay. And if it's not looking quite dark yet, I go ahead and add just a little bit of black as I go, because it is a very strong color. Okay. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. Alright. And we're just gonna go ahead and start adding our cave. I like to start from the top. You can start from the bottom, but I'm just squiggling out the shape of my cave. So no need to be perfect here. You can make it as rigid as you want it. And you want to also make those little platforms, those little rock platforms, because you know, when you are outside the cave, you want to stand on some stuff. You want to do some parkour. So we're just going to go ahead and add some little rocks here and there. Make some wave effects like how we did in our other waves. And you're going to do the same thing with the other side. You're going to take a corner of your canvas and just start making those rigid edges. Make those rigidities. All right, and we're just going to fill in the rest of our cave up here to make it more circular, you could just paint over where you initially made your lines, because we want to get that shape. And I'm so curious how these cave shapes are gonna look, because I'm like, I want to make a heart, but I don't want to affect anyone else's vision. But you can make a heart for me. But I'm just, whatever open edges, those white canvas areas you have, you could just go ahead and fill it in with that. And also make some rock platforms on your other side too. Give it some love on the other side. And finish out the rest of that cave. Then we're going to just fill in the rest with our paint. All right. So I am going to fill in the rest of my cave with that color of dark blue that we made to make the edges. Squiggly wiggly, I say. Squiggly woo. Poetry, right? Squiggly wiggly, squiggly doo. I think that's the most fun way to put it. Also, when I get to the edges of my canvas, I like to make it darker for effect. So I'll add a little bit of black to my mixture and just start painting the edges of my canvas. Yes. Also, don't ignore your white. Your water. Your water is there for a reason. It's there to help you. So just spread that color all around. All right. You're going to dip. You're going to mix. And you're going to do the same for the other side. And you see, I gotta hold on to my canvas for dear life, because it's gonna fall in love with this new painting I made on it. I don't know what's wrong with me, y'all. I got issues. But I'm just painting my heart away right now. So I hope that you're doing the same too and is enjoying this process. If you're not, throw your tomatoes at me. I am ready. I am so ready for tomatoes. I am hungry. If I did good, cool. But yeah, I hope that everyone is having a good time. And as we are filling in our cave, you could actually do the same with your sky if you want for effect. And just like circly workily your way out of your canvasy. And just paint those edges away. Paint those edges away. Paint those edges away. Oh gosh, okay. Even for to lighten it up a bit, I like to go ahead and add the blue back into my mixture and add this to the edges of my cave so that the light from my beach pop out. So I make some squigglies to symbolize my rocks. You could add dabs of blue, you could add squigglies all around. But this is just to give that effect in your cave to make it really pop. So I like to do that all around the canvas. Yeah. Good times. All right. And then that should be it for the cave. So final touches, we're going to give Big Ben a break because he has been pulling it through for us, y'all. Let's give him a round of applause after you clean your brush, okay? Because yeah, our boy, I never thought he would make it. I never thought he'd see the day. But yeah, let's give Big Ben a big break. He already did his big break. Look at him. He accomplished so much in his lifetime of this painting. I think he deserves a Grammy or whatever brushes get when they do hard work. A brushie. Yeah, we're gonna call it a brushie. It's time for our little brush. So, little brush, right? What we're going to do with the little brush, we're just going to get acquainted with it too, just like how we did Big Ben. So, if you still got that black from your cave, awesome. If you don't, that's okay. You're going to pick up some black to make that color again. You could add dark blue, you could add black. This is your rock, but it got to be around that range. And we're going to add some rocks into our ocean now, into our water. So you can add a little rock here. Just for little details and effects, because it's like, why have a cave and you ain't got no rocks in your water? Like, come on. So let's add a little rock here with our little brush. We're going to just outline our rock and fill it in. And then do the same with some other rocks here and there. Here and there. We're going to add a little rock over here. Little rock, yeah. Rock on, brother. Right there. And I'm gonna dilute my water a bit just to spread my color more. And I'm gonna add a little rock there. Yeah, rock power. Power to the rocks. If you want to empower your rock, you have to make it feel special, you know. You can't just be no ordinary rock. Okay. And then we're going to create like a nice little reflective effect. So we're going to add some white into our mixture. Until we get a nice gray. And then we're going to add just a little squiggle of reflection with our detail brush. Don't worry if it doesn't come out perfect, by the way. We are just adding reflection parts into our rocks. So we are just adding squiggles on the outside of our rocks. Okay, I'm gonna dip my paintbrush into my water. And then add it to the bottom of these rocks as well. And no need to worry. I know it looks like gray rock on sand right now, but we're going to add some white waves, some more sea foam for finishing touches now. So we're going to clean our brush again. I know, it's daunting. If you want to add more finishing touches, though, you can, just to show you how that looks. Minor thing I forgot, my bad. I add some more gray, and I'm going to add some reflective parts into my rocks. All right, little reflection, little, I guess you say highlights, cave highlights here and there. Yes, fancy. To make it pop out from the sun, give it that nice effect, yeah. Okay. You can even add it back to your rocks as well if you made like a lighter tone. A little dab here and there, because why not? Make it look real, make it pop. All right, now you can clean your brush. All right, make sure it's nice and clean. Had a bug on me, I had to blow it off. All right. And then we're going to dab dry. Nice and easy now. As you can see, I still got streaks of black. So I'm gonna just double clean it for the one time. All right, add that in there. And now we're going to add some ski foam effects. So I'm just going to add some more white. No need to mix any colors. Still, I like to place my white on my mixing palette and just create some sea foam. We're going to draw some lines of white around our rocks and our water. Just some little strokes here and there around our rocks at the bottom to make it reflect off of our water. All right, and add some streaks here and there. Add some sea foam under our rocks. Add some here. And add some rocks there. Add some sea foam water, my bad, y'all. But yeah, we're just adding some extra waves here and there, finishing touches. We're adding some squiggles, and we're adding some dabs of white. Yeah. And once you have squiggled your heart away, once you squiggle what you squiggled, if you still have some sand, you could add that in there. If you don't, that is completely okay. You could go ahead and add a little bit of red and a little lot actually of white until you get like a nice coral pink. And you can add those to really make your sand pop out of your water. I'm add a little bit of red, nice coral color, to make it really pop from the water and the sand. You can add more water to this to spread your color out. These are going to be your wave shadows for your sand, and just little peaks here and there, nothing too crazy. We like to add them touches in because something about it feels nice. All right, then we're gonna clean our brush one more time, I hope. But no, I think this is it. This is the last part. So make sure that you dab dry one more time. And we're going to take our blue, and we're just going to add some nice waves on some parts of our white waves to really give it that effect. You can add it, you don't even have to add it to the white, you can just add it wherever, honestly. This will just make it look believable. So we're just gonna go ahead and make some waves of blue. No need to be perfect. You can do it just like so. Yeah. You gotta own that canvas. You gotta say, I own you. You are mine. No one can have you. You belong to me. You're my canvas. Mine. I have to be infatuated with this canvas. I don't know why I'm like this, y'all. But as you can see, don't you see now how it's all coming together? And if it don't look exactly like that, who cares? You made what you made. Be proud of that. You sat through this whole experience, and look what came out of it. Greatness. Greatness came out of this experience. And you know what? If there's some parts that's missing here and there, just remember to clean your brush every new color and just make it pop. Make it pop. Make it pop. Just like this rock. Make it pop. Pop. Let me see you walk. Dang. I mixed some red on accident from my rock. That's cool though. There we go. See? Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. So I believe this is it. If you want to add more finishing touches, you can. As you can see, once I'm in it, I'm in it. So I'm just adding whatever. I'm just adding whatever now. But Yes, this ideally you should have a rock cave with a beach popping out and some sand and water and sky. And if you don't, then I have failed you, and you can tell me that. I am completely okay with that. But this is our paradise cave. Oh, and if you want to be fancy with it, if you want to tell people that you did this, I pick up some white with my little detail brush, my itty bitty. I'm gonna just go ahead and sign it. Let folks know what you about. But this has been another paint session by your host, your girl, and got any questions, concerns, anything of the sort. If you want to have your own session, your own party, let me know so we can make memories together. But I'm going to go get dressed now for the actual party of this event. Hopefully I can show you guys updates, and I hope they let me bring my camera. It's going to be in an aquarium. But yeah, I'm going to go get dressed for that now. I'm gonna go get ready, so I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.